Hey guys, it's Jonah here from Range Road. I was just doing an assembly on this processor with this infeed, and this one will also be receiving the hydraulic bar kit. So I figured it would be a good time to show a video of how to hook up the hydraulic bar kit valve over to the infeed valve. And we're going to show you how to plumb those together right now. Okay, so we already have the hydraulic bar valve mounted on the cage, and we already have the infeed valve mounted right here below the infeed. So we're just going to go ahead and get them plumbed in now. So I'm going to start by taking this rear hose on the pump, and I'm going to take it off the pump. Okay, we'll take that rear hose off and just kind of set it up out of the way, try and catch all that extra fluid there. And then you're going to take the shortest hose that's in the kit for the infeed. It's about 18 or 20 inches long. It's got a straight end on one side and a 90-degree on the other. So we're going to take the straight end and we are going to attach it to the pump. Okay, this hose is now installed on here, snug but not tight, so we still have a little bit of wiggle room. Now we're going to work on installing the other end of this short hose into this valve. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to go to this far right port on the top side. It's actually going to have a little P stamped in it right underneath the port, and that's how you know that's the pressure in. So we'll just go ahead and give the hose a little twist, thread it on there. And I'm reasonably happy with the way that that's ran, so I'll go ahead and tighten both ends down. Okay, so now we have our first valve plumbed in. So now we're going to grab one of the hoses from the hydraulic bar kit. It's going to be about 3 to 4 feet long. It's going to have a 90 on both ends. And we're just going to take one end of the hose and attach it to this bottom left-hand port on the infeed valve. And this one's going to be labeled with a T right above it, right there, and that is tank is what that means, or return. So we'll just set that on there loosely. I just find the rag makes it a little easier to thread on the nut. Your hands are full of fluid. Okay, so that's on there loosely. Now the other end of this hose is actually going to go up and feed our hydraulic bar kit valve up there. And it's the same idea here. This valve has got one port labeled with a T, which will be return to tank, and then this right side port has a P on it, and that means pressure in. So since we're taking our pressure from our infeed valve, just go ahead and install the other end of this hose right on this port marked P. Just get that on there loosely for now. So now, because of the length of this hose, you can see we've got some excess hose there. So it will need to be wound up, zap strapped out of the way, that sort of thing. But it will serve the function we need it to. So now we've got our hydraulic bar kit valve fed. So now we need to get the fluid out of the valve and back to the machine. So the way we're going to do that is this hose we had left right here earlier, we took off the pump. We're going to take it and bring it on up over to this valve port right here. Okay, you can see I've got the other hose on the left side of that valve installed, and this hose will actually go back to the conveyor. So that's totally plumbed in. You can see we got it from our pump, hose going, feeding our valve here, and then our exit from this valve goes up and over and feeds this valve, and then our exit from this valve will go back to the conveyor and then back to the machine. So that is it. That's how you tie the two valves together into one circuit. Now, of course, I've still got to go ahead and clean up this excess hose here, tighten up all the hose fittings, and making sure that we don't have any issues with the ram running into the hose at all. So this will need to be moved out of the way as well. Just a couple things to look for when doing this install.